Mayor of the great city of Danbury, in his regular weekly spot, Joe Cavo joins us. Hey, Joe.
Hey, boss man.
Good morning, Ethan and Lou. How are you?
What a beautiful day, huh?
Gorgeous. Just been gorgeous weather.
I wanted to lead with the positive because you're a very positive man.
Well, I try to be. Although certain folks do tend to try to beat it out of me.
I bet.
They have not been successful to this point.
So we have a pretty great. Well, I would say we have a great relationship with you. It's relatively new. A year. Or what is it? What has it been now?
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Who's
okay,
counting?
Feels like a year. We also have a long-standing acquaintance/friendship with Tom Devine of Two Steps, and I was there for dinner over the weekend, and Tom approached me about this issue that he's having with a tree. Now, you and I and Ethan talked about the downtown area's tree removal. Was that a week or two ago?
Mm-hmm.
It is all related to the streetscape project, and you made it clear that, sure, trees are being removed, but different trees are being put back in their place, and the trees that were removed were becoming problematic with the sidewalks, pushing the sidewalks up, and that would have done the same thing with the new development that's going on down there. So Tom sent me diagrams, photographs, and a concern about a tree that is he admits, on his property, but was not removed. He says the city planted it. I can't know if that's true or not. And he wants to know why the city won't remove it. What do you have to say about this?
So first of all, I just have a question for you because I heard you referring to this as Treegate, and I've been in office 6 months, and I'm trying to count. I don't remember how many gates we've had since I've been in office.
It's at least
Point by you.
It's at least 4, and one got me in a lot of trouble because it was already used in a really weird scandal that we had nothing to do with. But this is at least gate number 4 that we're on here.
And so the tree that's back there, from my understanding, from talking with department heads, may have been planted by the city back in the 80s when they did the streetscape back at that time. But as we had talked a couple of weeks ago when we talked about those trees and who planted them and when they planted them, I don't know a lot of the circumstances. I mean, it's 30 years ago. I don't know a lot of the circumstances that surrounded what happened, why that particular tree. It may have been a request of the property owner to, hey, put a tree here too. You just don't know.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is the tree's on his property. The city, it becomes a real problem for us if we go and take that tree down, because if I take the tree down on somebody's private property, then what stops the next person from approaching me and saying, hey, Mayor, there's a tree on my property and I don't really like it there. Could you have the city guys take it down for me? And so, once you break that seal and you start doing work like that, it really can muddy the waters for you, as a city leader. And so, I'm not really sure about how the tree got there or why the tree is there, but it's certainly on private property. I think about it, I'm just sitting here now thinking about it. And conversely, if we wanted to take the tree down and it was on his property, what recourse would the city have? We'd probably have to take him to court and fight with him to take the tree down, if there was some, city need to take the tree down. Right now, it's my understanding the streetscape doesn't involve that tree. The roots from that tree don't involve city streetscape and are not going to affect the new sidewalk. And so, our planning director and, public works director, left that tree out of the trees to come down because, A, it doesn't affect the streetscape at all, and B, it's not on our property.
I have to play devil's advocate. I hope you'll forgive that. Let's just say,
okay.
for argument's sake, you said maybe the tree was planted by the city at his request. Let's say, for argument's sake, it was not. And for some reason, the city planted a tree on his property without his permission. Wouldn't it be the responsibility of the city to then remove it? I understand these are complicated issues when you start talking about precedent, but if the city put it there without his permission...
Right, and I guess if he didn't want it there, he should have probably made a comment back 30 years ago that, hey, I don't want the tree here. Could you please take it out? Because I don't want to be responsible for it. Or you're going to sign a document that says, hey, we'll be responsible for the tree, perpetually, which is probably not the case. And so, it's a difficult situation. I know that our planning director has had, several interactions with Mr. Devine about it through email. I've been witness to those emails and part of those conversations. And it's just difficult. I mean, we certainly will talk about it. I just don't want it to be an issue, but I also don't want to, I have a responsibility to taxpayers. I have a responsibility to taxpayer money. If I send the city tree department in there, I'm using city resources, city taxpayer dollars to take down a tree on private property. I sometimes have a real issue with that. I have an issue with doing things like that. I think it just tends to open up the floodgates, and then, where does it stop?
Understood. I am good. So now I've done my part. I told both sides of the story. I will publish the article, and we move on with our lives, and the tree is no longer my problem.
All right.
And just like that, tree gate ends.
I'm trying to find out when Tom opened up 2 steps, and I can't find it here. So
yeah, listen, I don't have a dog in this fight. I thought that based on what he told me, it was a more than reasonable thing to bring up with you and to the public, because it sounds like there's a little gray area. I'm sure there's going to be people on different sides of this tree.
Yeah, I sit and think of my own situation. I sit and think about my own house. I had 2 trees taken down last year. I called the tree company. I asked them to come in. I took the trees down. If Mr. Devine doesn't want the tree there, then, really, basically, I think he should just call a tree company and have the tree taken down.
Sure. What about the sidewalk, though, that it's touching? Is that city sidewalk?
I don't know how far off the back of his property, but it's my understanding that the sidewalk streetscape that we're doing is not within the realm of that tree or the roots of that tree.
Okay, all right. Because I'm saying if he goes to remove the tree and pays to remove the tree, and it affects a city sidewalk, I would imagine the city would have some say in that. Maybe he's concerned about that.
Right. So he would probably have to cross over the city sidewalk to get to that tree. And so since the project hasn't reached that spot, if he wants the tree down, he should probably get it scheduled pretty soon.
Man, I don't want your job. I'll tell you what right now. And some days I don't want mine.
Not many.
So listen, there's another...
These aren't easy things. We deal with things like this every day. And
sure.
Believe me, I wish I had the resources, and I wish I had the people, and I wish I had the ability just to, declare it so and make it happen. But it makes things are complicated, and they sometimes get more complicated the deeper you delve into them. And so, you have to look at it from in a more global aspect than who owns the tree and who's taking it down and if it's coming down, and it gets very complicated.
Sure. All right. On a positive note, these pop-up events have started. The city center offices in Danbury have started these Friday night pop-ups. I attended the last one. I just wanted to tell people, hey, it's happening. It was not well attended this past week. That's not the end of the world. But I
don't think the weather was so great.
It was okay. It wasn't the best day for weather. But
I think it was threatening really bad thunderstorms and stuff in the afternoon. I think that's probably what affected it.
Right. So you get out, you could play table tennis. I was doing that.
Yeah, if you
play cornhole. There's live music. Not live music. There's music.
I was going to ask you to recap exactly what this is. But you pretty much said it. What are they doing? Like all of a sudden, there's like table tennis available.
Tennis. Yeah, you can play table tennis, kind of like in this side street. It's a pretty side street, and there's music, and they gave out T-shirts and things.
Okay.
Will
this be expanding, Joe?
Yeah, right now, City Center is planning on doing it every Friday night, I think, through the summer, and so probably will extend into the fall. I have to talk with Angela to get an exact schedule from her if you want that, but. Just generate a little more vibe downtown. Post-pandemic, as we come out of this thing, we're looking forward to, just re-excite people and get people back out of the house.
Will there be a bourbon available eventually?
Nice. Good question.
I'm certain that would be a possibility.
I was just kidding.
Soon we got to get on the same page with the San Gennaro Festival, meaning us here at I-95, City Hall, and the private folks who are doing this need to have a conversation about what it is we can say, because it's a very exciting event. I know there's plenty of time to go here, but I am chomping at the bit to talk about
When is this again?
In
When is
full
the event?
detail. It's in September.
Okay.
It's going to be in September, and we're working the downtown sidewalk program, extremely hard, trying to get that completed before the San Gennaro Festival, because that's right in the area where it's going to happen. And so we're, excited about the great weather, because our contractor is able to work every day, making great progress down there. Eversource just did a huge gas line upgrade right through the green in the last couple of weeks, and they were able to get that completed in time so that our construction is uninhibited, and we're moving along and looking forward to. I don't want to wish our summer away. I don't want to do that at all, but certainly looking forward to seeing how this festival plays out. And there's a lot of excitement about it, and when it breaks out, it's going to break out big.
You sound down today. Did I do this? Is there something I can do for you? Because it sounds like I killed your enthusiasm.
I sound down today? No, I'm not down at all.
He's not a downer guy.
Danbury Mayor Joe Cavo, we appreciate your time as always. We're out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.